swear that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
If you could please be seated, state and spell your name for the record.
It's going to be Detective Hobie, H-O-B-E, Love, L-O-V-E.
You're a detective with the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you been a detective?
Say a little over a year and a half.
How long have you been with the Sheriff's Office?
For approximately 4.5 years.
On April 18th, 2024, were you working?
Yes.
And did you respond to the area of 3305 Marina Road in South Milwaukee, Wisconsin?
Yes.
Why did you respond there?
April 18th, it would have been for, I believe it would have been for the gloves.
Okay. In South Milwaukee, you were there with Detective Jarozinski, right?
Yes, I'm sorry. In that response.
Sorry,
And
with who? I couldn't hear you.
Detective Jarozinski.
Yes, I'm sorry. That morning I would have responded to that park because of a citizen calling in for the findings of for human remains.
I'm going to show you a photo which was a medical examiner photo previously marked and admitted as 430. Is that the human remains that you found at that park?
It is.
Did it appear to you that that torso had washed ashore at that location?
It did.
On April 9th, 2024, were you called to the area of Warnimont Park?
I was.
Are you aware of who summoned the sheriff's office to that scene? Was it some other law enforcement, or was it a civilian?
It would have been a civilian by the name of Joseph Gagner.
For the record, that's Gagner. What information were you given from dispatch when you responded to that location?
That Mr. Gagner was walking along the shore, spotted a couple pairs of latex gloves that had appeared to be specks of blood on them.
At this time, April 9th, this was a whole week after Miss Robinson's leg had been found at Warnimont Park, correct?
Yes.
And was essentially your department following up on any information that was coming through tip lines, calls for service, that sort of thing?
Yes.
And this is one of the things that you were specifically assigned to follow up on?
Yes.
I'm going to show you exhibits 459 through 463. $459. What is it?
Looks to be an overview of Warnimont Park, more specifically to the water pump.
I'm going to move 459 in.
Any objection?
No.
Received.
And then why don't you tell us, in summary, what are the next four things? Are those photos?
Yes, the next photos would be photos that were taken by Deputy Christopher Ogwin. And these are the photos of the gloves that the citizen Joseph Gagner found.
Are they covered in blood?
Yes, there does appear to be specks of blood on them, yes.
Specks, or are they covered?
They are, I see blood on them.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to move those exhibits in and ask to publish those as well.
Any objection?
No.
Received. Go ahead.
All right, I'm going to give you, I think it's this microphone here.
I think so.
I'm going to have you stand up, and if you would, come to the TV screen. Let me zoom out slightly. Okay, so to orient us, Detective, this road over here, it kind of goes off the map. This is Sheridan Drive.
Yes, it is.
And this would be Pulaski and then the pump house road that goes down to the Warnimont pump house, correct?
Yes, it is.
Miss Robinson's leg was found where in relation to this map?
So Robinson's leg would have been found just to the north of the water pump, so within this area.
Okay, so on the north side of the pump house.
Yes.
And where were you when you were called out to these gloves?
So myself, along with Detective Todd Rosenstein, would have parked here, just at the gate, just to start. So there is a gate, I believe, like right up here. We would have been parked, and then we would have taken this walk path down, which is a very steep hill, down to the pump house, and then we would have walked south. So from the pump house to where we recovered the gloves would have been approximately a quarter of a mile.
Okay, you specifically pointed that you walked in front of this pump house, right, on the north side of it?
Yes.
There's a camera right there, right?
Yes. There is actually 3 cameras.
And is that how you get to the path to get down there?
Yes.
And where is that path?
So this path, again, we would have traveled down the steep hill, walked around the pump house, and then walked through this little narrow way here. There are some rocks that we would have had to get over here and then continue to walk down.
You would have been captured on camera doing that, right?
Yes.
Okay. And describe what kind of trail this path is here.
It's a very narrow trail, and it's more rocky. You can walk it straight. It's until you get to like the bottom here, where there's larger rocks that you gotta just climb over.
Would you characterize it as easy to get down or hard?
I'll say a little harder, especially just taking that path. I actually wouldn't say hard. This part you can easily get through until you get to these rocks, and then you have to climb over.
Is there any other way to get down there?
No. And actually more recently, last week, I did take a walk down here. Even if like I couldn't find a way to get down through this path from here, like climbing over and then these rocks without getting wet, you'll have to get down there through this way.
So you couldn't go, basically this right here is a retaining wall, right?
Yes.
And would it really be feasible for one to like go around the retaining wall into the lake?
No, not without getting wet.
So when you went there on April 9th, there was only one realistic way for you to get down to where these gloves were, and that was to walk right in front of the pump house cameras.
Yes.
And down a steep, thin path.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to put up Exhibit 460 here. Is this photograph, orient us, please.
So yes, this photograph is essentially, it shows the pump house here. It shows like part of the path that you would have to like take, and these are the rocks that I was describing as the larger rocks that you have to kind of climb over and then just walk this path all the way over.
And is this the location where the latex gloves were found?
It is.
How far away from the pump house was this?
I measured it to be a quarter of a mile.
There's no way to get down there from the cliff to the left unless you jumped?
Yeah, unless you jumped. And again, more recently, as of last week, actually went out there, and the cliff is bluff, so it's like all muddy and it's wet. Even if you had on like boots, at some point you would fall down that cliff.
All right, I'm going to show you 462. Is that one the gloves you found?
That is.
All right. 461. One of the gloves?
Yes.
And do you see a little blood?
I do.
Okay, where?
You can see, so all of this would be blood.
463. Any blood?
Yes. And then blood would be here.
All right. They're not completely covered in blood, are they?
No.
Would one be able to toss a pair of those gloves off the top of the cliff and get them to the point where you found them?
Objection, speculation.
You're able to lay a foundation?
Have you tried to throw a pair of gloves off the top of the cliff to see if you could get them to where these gloves were found?
I did.
And how did that go?
Last Wednesday, I took a partner of mine with me. We actually went here. I had my partner, Detective Andrew Sullivan, stay up top, and then I went down the same path as I did on April 9th. I went a quarter of a mile in, and then I had Detective Andrew Sullivan go a quarter mile in up top and actually take 3 gloves. So the first two that we found, then the other glove that we found. So I took a total of 3 gloves, and I had him meet me a quarter mile in up top and then throw him down.
What happened?
As he threw him down, it was windy that day. Even with the wind, he threw the first pair down, and with the wind, it stayed kind of floating in the air, and then it eventually just drifted down like the cliff, but it didn't get anywhere near me.
Okay. Was it basically a laughable experiment?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to show you 455 here. You can have a seat, actually. What's 455?
This is the evidence bag containing the latex gloves that were found.
And there's a crime lab sticker on there as well?
It is.
And are your markings on there from inventorying those gloves?
It is.
And move 455 into evidence.
Any objection?
No.
455 is received.
Nothing else.